Her job is to be alluring. Your job is to pursue her. Why? Not being willing to chase you. She is setting up a barrier for you to cross. This is your first test. This is your first test. Will he come across this room and talk to me? That's a challenge. It's a threat. The possibility for failure, for rejection. She has created that gap when she refuses to make the first move. She is filtering the crowd of available suitors to remove cowards. A woman who crosses the gap and comes after you, her filtering mechanism is kind of broken. She's not filtering out chicken. I need to stop swearing, but you know what I mean. Chicken spit. She's filtering out scaredy cat, shy guy cowards. Pursuing women requires getting over the fear of rejection to get a quality one. If all you do is choose from the pool of women who choose you, you're really limiting your options. If you want a certain type of woman, you have to be able to go after what you want. You have to have attraction. You have to have attraction. The more attractive a female is, the more scared and timid you are about walking up to her. So, how do you get over this? This was me. I was pitifully shy. My first marriage, I didn't have to get over any rejection the way that it went. I didn't have to like cross any big psychological like, oh, what if she says ick? What if she says get out of my face? I didn't have to. And I ended up married to her, and it was a bad marriage. She was a good person, but our marriage was not a good marriage. It was kind of forced. Maybe another video for some other day. After we divorced, I was severely depressed. I was in the Marines. I was stationed in Hawaii, and my buddy Casey, Filipino guy, he was in the Navy from San Diego, and he had a gorgeous Filipino wife. I mean, he had kids. I had no kids. He was a little older than me, but he had a gorgeous wife, and he couldn't keep her. How do you go about talking to girls that you're just scared senseless to talk to any of them? Me and Casey were going out drinking all the time. I mean, I was a heathen, absolute heathen. But this solved me of my fear of rejection. And you have to think like a salesman. A door-to-door salesman from the old days used to be able to say, on average, it takes me 10 or 12 knocks to make one sale. So I need to get 9, 10, 11 no's out of the way. Let me go find my first no. If you have a mentality of, I'm not pursuing a yes, I'm pursuing a no, then you'll always succeed. And if you get a yes where you expected a no, then you double succeed. So there's no failure if you're out seeking rejection, if you're out seeking for girls to say no to you. The next thing, once you get that mentality, you need a partner. So mine was Casey. We were both freaking distraught over our marriages. We both loved our wives, and they were both running around being floozies, getting high, and doing stupid things. And we were both just tore up, and we couldn't sit at home alone. Individual, you know, I didn't live with them, but we couldn't sit at our respective houses all night long with our brains just going and going. So, you know, what do men do? You go out and to find a distraction. So we'd be out at the bars, out at the clubs, and he was my wingman, right? We developed this game to deal with our inability to get over, you know, that barrier. I mean, when you've been married for a long time with one woman, you lose your game. You lose your ability to flirt, your natural back and forth. Like, it might still be in there somewhere, but it's dull, and it needs to be sharpened. Casey had this beautiful wife, and he was with her for like 12 years, so his game was, it was dirt. Like, he just didn't have it anymore. But he was a stud. He was a great dude. And so the game is, I pick the woman Casey has to go talk to. He's got 10 seconds. If I point, you see that one right there, the blue with in a skirt? Doesn't matter if she's good looking, if she's big, small. As long as it doesn't look dangerous. I'm not going to send the guy out to go get stabbed. As long as the situation doesn't look dangerous. I scope out a girl that appears to be single, doesn't have a huge glistening rock, because that is disgusting. If you go after another man's woman, you are disgusting and foul and despicable. She might take you in. She might give up her man's cookies because she's got daddy issues or whatever it is, but she's got a daddy. Maybe she didn't have one as a kid and she's a broken woman and she's adulterous, but she's got a daddy in heaven that cares about her, and he will be vengeful with you. So you see a ring on a woman's finger, you look the other way, son. You got it? You look the other way. But I identify a girl who ain't got a ring on her finger that I can tell, As soon as Casey says, yep, I see her, I got a lock, Goose, let's go. As soon as he identifies her, he's got 10 seconds to get to there and make an introduction. It does not matter whatsoever what he says. He can say, excuse me, what time is it? It does not matter what he says. It matters that he identifies what he wants, and with no hesitancy, meaning he has no time to build this up into some big rejection factor, with no hesitancy, he steps off, he makes his way to her, and he speaks to her. It could be one word, and she could slap him. The goal is not to get slapped, but the goal is to go pursue your target swiftly, like a man. You ever see a coyote linger and think, should I go after that rabbit? I don't know, should I? No, it sees the target, it's off, okay? That's why they survive. Strong survive. Cowardly coyote probably starves to death. Casey then gets to pick my girl. If either one of us fails, so the person who sends him off is counting. If either one of us fails, chicken's out. He's got to drink a beer. The goal of this game is not to be drunk. The goal of this game is to do it stone cold sober, because that's you. You don't need liquid courage if you've got real courage. And why spend your money drinking, putting on more fat on your belly, and reducing your health if there's no need to? You shouldn't need to be drunk to be yourself. You're not yourself when you're drunk, but you should not need to be drunk to pursue a woman, because then she's going to get a different version of you than you really are. It would be much better for you to be yourself in pursuing this woman and to have courage. When we first started playing this, by the time we had 3-4 drinks, we'd start getting good at it. But it didn't take but a summer, and I didn't need to drink at all. I could talk to every woman that walked by, and it fazed me not. None. And I almost never got rejected. If you don't walk up to him with a canned, stupid pickup line, or some vulgar comment like, hey, nice tits, if you walk up and just say, I noticed you were standing here and I really wanted to talk to you, how are you? It's extremely hard for a woman to be super rude to something genuine like that. Hey, this guy might not look the way I want him to look, but he acted right. And all night long I've been fending off dudes that are being idiots, trying to grope on me and this and that, and stare all creepy from across the bar. And I never saw this guy staring at me. I never even saw him staring at me. He just walked out of nowhere and said something nice, but he demonstrated his masculinity respectfully. And he singled me out of the bar, and that makes me feel special, because a respectful guy respecting me, whoo, that's the good stuff, right? That's what everybody's after. So, never use this to abuse a female, ever. Never, ever, ever. If all you want is premarital sex from a girl, check yourself. I'm here to tell you that is the road to ruin, and I don't want that for you. I want better for you. What else do you need to know? It's your job to pursue women. And when you get one, it's your job to manage her. Not, that sounds negative, steward. God created Adam, he created Eve. He put them in the garden, and he assigned Adam as the leader, the responsible, in-charge leader for stewarding all things in his dominion for the greater good, for the glory of God. Not the greater good, the glory of God. Eve was his helpmate, his woman. She was part of what he needed to steward. How did he fail? Paul tells us in the New Testament the man was not deceived. The serpent comes in and deceives Eve. She says, I really want that apple, Adam. I really want that apple, Adam. Adam. He doesn't like this distance between them because she's exceptionally desirable. Just unbelievably desirable to him. And when she withdraws, he comes forward. And when she says, I want that apple, Adam, he says, okay, baby, we'll do it. Happy wife, happy life. Adam's mistake was he chose his wife over his God. He had his God on one hand and his wife on the other. And she wanted something different than he wanted, and Adam went the wrong way. Adam was the pilot, not the co-pilot. He stepped out of his masculine and he stopped protecting her from her bad decision. Ladies, you can be as feminist as you want. You don't even have to believe in God. Let's just talk about it as if it was a story. The fall from grace harmed both of them, but he had the knowledge to prevent her from making that step and falling from grace. His job was to be her hero, to protect her, to defend her from external threats or internal threats. So men, when you get a woman who wants you and she's ready to have sex with you, your job is to say no. I care about you too much to sleep with you. I want to get to know you first. I want to get to know you better. And if your life and my life jive, I want to marry you. Then I want to have sex with you. And then I want to steward all things that God puts under our command to bring glory to the kingdom of God. And that's all there is to the happy wife thing. That's the happy wife, happy life story. Happy in a godly husband who has the boundaries to say, no, you will not do that, or you will leave my home. Love you, people.